All right, guys, how's it going? Let's see, we just make sure everything's working here first. We should have more people coming in here in a little bit. Let's just make sure everything's good to go. Alrighty. Let's see how many people are in. We got 28 viewers, that's good. Just give me 1 second. Make sure everything's good to go. Good. Very good. All right. Chatt Cats Fishing here. Welcome to another episode. And today we are doing the 10,000 subscriber Q&A session here. It's been a while, guys. Actually, it hasn't been too long if you really think about it. I think the last one we did was around, I think it was 5,000, which was back in July or something like that. So, guys, I'll be honest, this channel has really blossomed in the past few weeks. It's really great to see the channel grow like it has been, and reaching 10,000 was a goal that I actually had set for the end of this year, and we hit 10,000. I think it was last Saturday or something like that, and it just blew up so quickly. There was one video that went viral, and that video was, "What did the catfish say when he hit a wall?" And that video has literally reached like 600,000 views. It's crazy. And I got a lot of exposure from that video. A lot more subscribers came along, and it's just been great to see a video kind of take off like it has been, because catfishing, if you guys don't know, there's not a lot of YouTube channels out there for catfishing. Usually YouTube is dominated by either bass fishing or saltwater fishing, not so much catfishing. Steve Douglas is a guy, if you guys don't know who he is, he's really big into catfishing, and Luke Nichols from Catfish and Carp, he also has a pretty big channel. And then Muddy River Catfishing, he's also out there. But outside those three channels, there's not really a whole lot of anybody out there that has big channels. So it's really good to see this channel grow like it has been, and it's just amazing. So I really appreciate all the hard work that you guys have just put into this channel. Believe me, it's just not me putting in the hard work. It's actually you guys too. The fact that, you watch the videos, some of you guys actually share the videos, which is good, and just liking the videos, giving me exposure, that really does mean a lot, and that's why I really wanted to do this live stream for you guys. So first, let's talk about the giveaway and how that's going to work, and then we can get straight into the Q&A. I have a video coming out on Sunday, and that video will be the 10,000 subscriber giveaway video. And for that video, all you have to pretty much do is just put your email address and I don't know, maybe comment one of your favorite videos on this channel, or maybe I may have you leave a comment on maybe a collaboration I should have in the near future. So I'll have something like that for you guys to pick. And that will come out this Sunday. So, and here's going to be the giveaway. There's going to be 3 prizes, okay? The grand prize is going to be a $100 gift card to Bass Pro Shops, and the second prize will be a $50 gift card to Bass Pro Shops. And then the third prize will be Team Catfish lip grips and some Team Catfish circle hooks. And I don't have those on me right now, but on Sunday I'll have those items to show you what they'll look like, and then you'll be set to be part of the giveaway. And usually when I do giveaways, I usually give it like 24 hours or maybe 48 to 72 hours, just depends. But if I'm uploading on Sunday, I'll probably close it Tuesday, give you guys a few days to do that. And then we'll resume the regular fishing videos next Thursday. And I'm actually working on a really good video right now. And that video coming out next Thursday is how to catch catfish around bridges. And it's actually taken me a little bit of time to work on because there's a lot of content I'm going on with that one. So anyway, just want to let you guys know about that. So let's see. Let's look at some of these comments now. We can go straight to the Q&A. I'm going to end this live stream around 10 o'clock because it is pretty late for me, believe it or not. I'm actually a school teacher, if you guys did not know that. So I get up pretty early. So let's see what you guys have. It looks like we have quite a few bit of comments here, so let's see. All right, I'm going to try to go in order. I will try to get to everybody's comment, okay? That way no one's left out. Hopefully I can get to you. If I don't get to you, just repost your question, and I'll do my best to get to it. So let's see. We got some people from Texas here, Catfishing Cosmetics. It's awesome. Let's see. All right. Let's see who the first question is. Endomitis Fishing. Sorry to hear about the Ohio catfish population decline. It sucks. Yes, it does. If you guys didn't know, I went to Ohio about a few weeks ago and fished on the Ohio River with a good buddy of mine named Dave, and actually did some fishing with my twin brother Jake as well. And it's just amazing in a way. Amazing in a bad sense. Just how hurt the Ohio River has been, just with all the commercial fishermen taking out these trophy fish and putting them in pay lakes. And I understand it's a big argument on both sides, you know, and there's a lot of controversy and everything like that, but it was just amazing what he was telling me. And it's funny because I actually grew up in Ohio and did not really know that any of this was going on, but it's become more prevalent in the past like 5 to 10 years, where these pay lakes are having some 50, 60-pound blue catfish and flatheads in there. And it's been pretty hard for the Ohio River. But anyway, I posted a video on that, I think this past Sunday, over the catfish population decline on the Ohio River. Check it out. It is quite interesting to see what my buddy Dave has to say. So let's see here. Let's see. Trying to see. Can I do a catfish and rod reel giveaway? I've done that before. I've done a catfish rod giveaway before where I gave out a nightstick, and I think that was in my previous giveaway back in the summertime. I guess I could do something like that in the future. I tell you what, if you win the giveaway, whether it's the $50 or $100 gift card, send me a message or something. I'll tell you what you can get with that gift card if you're really wanting to get a catfish rod reel combo or something like that. Someone says, do spoons work for catfish? I caught one on a spinner that seems to work for me. Yes, spoons do work. I actually had a video out, I think it was end of September, where my brother-in-law went fishing with me. He caught a baby flathead on a little Foley spoon. So yeah, you can definitely catch some catfish with some lures, spoons, little jigs. And I mean, flatheads will slam a crappie jig, usually around the spawn. If you're like fishing around docks or anything like that, sometimes you'll get the flathead that will strike it. So yeah, I mean, they'll hit it. Gavin, you have inspired my catfishing career. That's awesome. I'm glad to give you guys some good tips out there. Like I said, I don't claim to be an expert, okay, in my fishing. I just love to fish, and there's days where I don't really catch anything, and then there's days where the bite just gets really good. And this year, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, this year has been piss poor catfishing. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean on the Tennessee River here, but we've had like zero rain, zero. And we're in one of the worst droughts we've ever been in Chattanooga. We've had wildfires happening, brush fires. Right now we're under a no burn alert, which means that people can't start a fire. We can't have any fire pits going on right now. It is so bad out there, especially with these wildfires going on, that it's caused a lot of fires to happen on Signal Mountain, where I teach, and some neighborhoods are being evacuated right now because of the smoke and the potential of a fire happening. And it's really, really sad and really bad. And the fishing hasn't been that great either. And I've been having to really cover a lot of water just to see where the fish are. And it's just right now it's just really hit or miss. Sometimes it's like, wow, there they are, and then some other times like, well, where'd they go? And that's just fishing. So and I try to tell people this too. Really try to enjoy the days that are the hardest, because those are the days that it really makes you appreciate the days that you really do well fishing. But the days that are that you're struggling and it's really hard to get a fish, that's when you really want to try to switch things up. And that's hard for me because typically I anchor fish. That's my forte. That's my cup of tea type thing. And because I'm not really much into drift fishing, I'm really not. But I'll do it. And if all else fails for me when I'm anchor fishing, but it's been a tough year. So I'm really hoping that this winter we get some rain a little bit, and hopefully just early next spring we get some rain, because it's been hard. I don't know how it's been your guys' way, but it's been hard here. So, Danny Cow, would you be interested in fishing the Mississippi River near St. Louis? Send me a PM. Yeah, I mean, I've never actually fished the Mississippi River before, so yeah, that would definitely be great. Yeah, we can definitely try to work something out. I know the Mississippi also runs along Memphis. Memphis is about 4.5 hours from where I am. So yeah, we can definitely try to do something like that. Um, HN fishing. What's your PB catfish? 90 pounds. 90-pound blue catfish. Caught that actually this past January. Ever fished Wheeler Lake in Alabama? Nope, never fished Wheeler. Would like to sometime. I've heard great things about Wheeler. There's some big fish at Wheeler for sure, but nope, never been there. Would like to though. Let's see. What is the most species caught in one day? This is by Carter Grattan or Graydon. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. Um, let's see. I think the most I've caught has been like 6 or 7. Okay. But usually when I go out fishing, I'm usually targeting catfish. And there's times where I'm targeting maybe a smallmouth bass or just going bass fishing. I like to switch it up sometimes. Sometimes catfishing can, you can just get kind of sick of it, and that sounds bad, but, when you're doing it like twice a week, you just want to change things up a little bit. But I think I've caught like 6 or 7 in one day, and that can range from like bluegill all the way up to catfish. So, let's see. Have I ever caught a catfish with an onion? Nope, I have not. That will be an interesting experiment, though, for sure. I think Muddy River Catfishing did that one time, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. What chicken bait is the best? Chicken, I mean, if you're just getting raw chicken, any brand will suffice for that, really. Just make sure it's fresh. I usually get, I think, like a Tyson brand or something like that. Just get chicken breast or something, and then you can just cut it in the small fillets. And actually, raw chicken does really good when drift fishing, believe it or not. I haven't really had success using raw chicken when anchor fishing or fishing from the bank, but drift fishing, believe it or not, it works. I think the biggest fish I've caught with chicken is like 20 or 25 pounds. Let's see. Panfish. I agree. It's been a rough year. Yes, definitely it has. What do you like to use to catch channel catfish? That just depends. I've had really great success on the channel catfish with raw chicken, cut shad, and stink baits. And stink baits work really well in the summertime, especially the team catfish, sudden impact, and secret seven. Man, you use on a very hot sunny day, man, you can't go wrong with that. I'm telling you, I've caught in like cooler fulls of channel catfish with that stuff. Um, so I would definitely look into the team catfish stink baits if you're wanting to catch some channel catfish, and usually cut bait will work just fine. Have I tried bacon? I have not tried bacon before. It'd be something. Let's see. Am I planning on doing deer hunting this year? Does chicken lake or saltwater lake fish like shrimp or crab work? I don't hunt, believe it or not. Would like to sometime. I know I keep saying I like to, but there's a lot of things I would like to try. But no, I don't hunt. And saltwater fishing. If you're just wanting to saltwater fish just to catch a fish, yeah, you can use shrimp or squid will work just fine for you. HN Fishing, I'll check out your channel a little bit later. Let's see. Fishing Cosmetics. You said your last fishing video was the best trip for the past 2 years in Texas. That's awesome. Have you guys been getting rain down there? If you could answer that question, that'd be great. Let's see. I use a 1/4-inch jig on 10-foot, 5-pound line for lip ripping catfishing. That's awesome. Let's see. Thank you, Steve Douglas. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. Have I ever been to Knoxville, Iowa? No, but I've been to Knoxville, Tennessee. I've never actually been to Iowa and would like to sometime. Iowa, if you guys don't know, I am a wrestling coach, okay, at Signal Mountain. And Iowa is like the capital of wrestling, okay, for, especially college wrestling. Dan Gable, legendary coach at the University of Iowa, coach there. And they just have a phenomenal, rich tradition in wrestling. The state of Iowa does. So if I ever make it to Iowa, I would definitely be sure to fish, and then also probably watch one of the Iowa wrestling matches. I'm trying to remember what their arena is called. What is the University of Iowa's arena called? Is it like Hawkeye Carver Arena or something like that? That'd be really cool to watch a wrestling match there for sure. Would I like to fish Lake Texoma? Where is that? Is that in Texas? Sure. I mean, I'm always up to trying to fish new areas. Difficult though to get out. Especially venture off to like Texas or somewhere like that, just because I got a family. I got Kaylee, she's 4, and Alan, she's 9 months. So if I ever have time to really fish new places, it would have to probably be in the summertime when I'm not teaching, and but let's see here. Have I ever fished in Florida? Yes, yes, I have fished in Florida. Yes, done some saltwater fishing there. Caught some baby black tip sharks like this big. But I haven't been down there enough to really fish a whole lot. But yes, I have. Let's see. Have I tried the CT River? Nope, I have not. Let's see. Gonna go ocean fishing. I mean, I would like I said, I would like to do more fishing in general. I've never actually done deep sea fishing. I would like to do that sometime. And I've only done ocean fishing just a few times, just from a pier. You know, I'm actually kind of new at it, so I'm not uh very good at it. You know, it's ocean fishing. You know, is almost like a different ball game in a way. You know, it's just saltwater fishing is, I mean, it's similar to freshwater, but it's still different in a way. But yeah, I mean, maybe next summer or something, I'll be able to make more trips near sea to do some more saltwater fishing. Let's see here. Let's see. Nate Kraus, PB catfish, 751 pounds. Yeah, right. World record is 114 pounds, I think, for blue catfish. Let's see. Okay, Mason 003. The winners will be announced. It's a good question. Okay, so putting up the giveaway video, and you'll comment on that video. Everybody who wants to be part of this giveaway will comment on Sunday's video, and then I'll do a video where announcing the winners probably sometime later in the week. So I'll let you guys know in advance, okay, for sure when that will be. If you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, even Twitter, you'll definitely know when that video will be released, the winners video, okay. But just let's do one step at a time. Let's just focus on Sunday. You guys just look for Sunday's video and just follow the steps on what you need to do to be a part of that giveaway. Okay, Kendall, let's see. I was wondering what a good bait is for pond blue cats. I have a chance to break a over 43-year-old state record. What should I use? You should also come to Colorado for some catfishing. Okay, if you're fishing ponds can be tricky for catfish in a way. You have to first find out what the deepest part of your pond is, and then find out if there's like any structure in your pond. Okay, if you don't know, you're gonna have to really experiment a lot. Like try to use 3 or 4 rods out there, cast in the middle of the pond, cast where there's maybe a tree. If you see any sort of stumps kind of sticking out of the pond, I don't know what your pond is like, but I would first focus on just targeting different angles of the pond. And as far as bait, ponds can be tricky. Okay, I've actually had more success catching catfish with like crickets and corn, night crawlers. Not so much cut bait, believe it or not. And that's just because the survival, the type of competition in a pond is different than it is like in a river, okay, or in a lake. You see, when you're fishing a river or a lake, everything is about survival. Okay, catfish are at the top of the food chain. Flatheads are eating, live fish, and blue cats are too, but it's a whole different like game. In a pond, everything's really more kind of confined, and it's almost like the fish are just always around each other constantly. So you can try using cut bait, but I would just try using night crawlers first. Okay, you're gonna have to kind of experiment a little bit and see what hookups you get with different baits you try. So that'd be good for you though, Kendall, to really see what you can get out of there. I hope it all works out for you. Let's see. Have you ever used bluegill for bait? Oh yeah. Live bluegill, yes. Live bluegill works really good for flatheads for sure. I actually caught my 90-pounder. Let's see. Let's see. I caught my 90-pounder this past January on cut bluegill. Okay, and I typically do better catching blue cats on cut bait, and I do better with the flatheads on live bait, and that's just because the flatheads are more of a um, they pursue more opportunity, I think, a little bit better than the blue catfish do. Meaning, the flatheads are they're very predator like. They're kind of like an alligator. They sit still like all day, and then when they're ready to eat and feed, they're gonna look for that one good meal. Okay, and that one good meal can be like a 5-pound carp, or even bigger, or like a big bluegill. Okay, and they'll usually be content, with that one good meal. So So yeah, live bluegill definitely works good. Let's see here. Chicken liver. Yeah, chicken liver is a really good bait to use for channel cats for sure. I'm sure they work well on the blue cats too. But I've done better with chicken livers on channel catfish. Um, yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you guys with all the kind words. I mean, 10,000 is quite a milestone. I mean, like I said, it actually happened really fast. The past couple months, the channel really blew up. I was getting like 150 subscribers a day or something like that. And I'm telling you, it's that one video. What did the catfish say when he hit a wall? If you have not seen that video, you should watch it. I mean, it's a great video, but I guess some people say a clickbait, whatever. The title, is what probably attracted people to watch that video. But if you don't know behind that video, okay, is I was fishing below Chickamauga Dam, and it was just like a off-color joke I was saying. And I decided to call the video, "What did the catfish say when he hit a wall?" And the answer was "dam," because I was fishing below Chickamauga Dam. And some people took it very literally, like, well, what did the catfish actually say? And it's like, well, it's a joke, dam, because I'm fishing below. And, as kind of corny as that sounds, but, for some reason that video just went viral and a lot of people seemed to like it. So that was awesome. Better for cat gear, I would say Bass Pro Shops. Bass Pro Shops is more fishing focused, I feel like, and Cabela's is more hunting focused. But that's just in my personal experience. But I would definitely say Bass Pro Shop. How do you prevent the carp from stealing all my smelts? They suck it right out the circle hook. Those are the white. Those are the white bass that we catch like flies on fly paper. All right, Polyfree. Carp, that's why a lot of people like to use hair rigs, okay? And because carp are very finicky eaters, okay? And um, I guess the best thing to do is maybe try to you maybe use a little bit of a bigger hook. Maybe try not to use circle hooks, okay? Because circle hooks are hooks that usually sets themselves. But you know, I would maybe try going with the standard J hook or something like that and see if that would do you any good. I'm not sure what size hook you're using, but maybe just switch up with a different type of hook. Let's see here. 99-pound flathead by Gavin. That's a pretty big fish. Let's see. I have not tried CJ's Crawdad Punch Bank. I'm not sure what that is. Hey, send me a link to that in the comments. I'll be curious to check it out. Let's see. The sacked potato, I do wrestling from middle school. It's awesome, man. Keep it up. Can you take me fishing? Sure. Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, maybe we can work something out for sure. Any more questions you guys have? Let's see here. I don't think I've missed anybody. Yeah, so Cameron, send me an email at joe.jellison@gmail.com or something, and maybe we can try to get something set up, okay, for a possible trip. So that should work. That's a good question. Ever fish from a kayak? Yes, I have. So I did a kayak fishing episode this summer. I think it was back in July in North Carolina. There are, and I have a video on it too. Billy. I caught some bass, caught some other sunfish, caught some baby channel catfish like this small. And I tell you, fishing from a kayak is tough. Okay, you know, being so used to fishing from a motorboat and then going with a kayak is 10 times harder for sure, but definitely more fun. You definitely have to be aware of what's going on, and I would definitely love to do more kayak fishing for sure. That would definitely be awesome. So I've done some bass fishing from a kayak as well. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, DJ fishing. Where am I from? Originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, specifically Hamilton, and but I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and but grew up in Ohio. And after high school, went to Lee University in Cleveland, Tennessee, right outside of Chattanooga, and started a wrestling team there. Got my master's in teaching, and loved Chattanooga so much, decided to live down here. I was from Ohio, but not really. Okay, you guys can fight me on that one. Let's see here. Biggest flathead on a lure? Geez, I'll be honest with you. I've never caught a flathead on a lure, but I do catch flatheads on lures, and I think the biggest is maybe like 3 or 4 pounds. Nothing too big. So that'd be a really good episode to do sometime, is to try to catch a flathead, a big one on a lure of some sort. Cameron, yes, I can email you. Okay, let me go ahead and do that. Here we go. Have you ever ate catfish bait? That's an interesting question. No, I have not. Well, I have eaten crappie before. Okay, like a fish fry or something like that. And some people use crappie as bait. So yeah, I guess you can say. I guess that does answer your question. I have eaten catfish bait, you know, which is crappie, and I don't think I've ever had bluegill, but I definitely have had crappie. So let's see here. Ever caught a shark? Yep, I have, Isaac. Caught a shark this past summer. Let's see, where were we? Topsail, North Carolina. I have a video on that on the channel somewhere. So yes, I have. Let's see here. Biggest catfish, Kobe? 90 pounds. Okay, that was this past January. Seen that video, the 90-pound video? I think it's my channel trailer, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's definitely on the channel. Let's see. Endomitis, 80-pound flight is my dream freshwater fish to catch. I hear you, brother. If you guys have never caught a flathead, okay, and this should be a goal for everybody who lives in this life, okay? If you're a fisherman, listen up, okay? And this is the persona that a lot of people have on catfish because, and it's sad, because a lot of people look at catfish as like ooey, slimy fish. They sit on the bottom. They don't fight worth a crap, and that is absolute baloney. Actually, a great way to look at catfish is catfish are at the top of the food chain. Okay, they rule the rivers. They really do. And I've had catfish, in my personal opinion, true river monster. Okay, I mean, blue catfish, yeah, I mean, you can say they're a monster, but their personality is so much different than a flathead. Okay, and when you think of a monster, you think of something kind of scary. Okay, you think of something that you're just scared to look at, and that would spook you. And a flathead is a fish that would scare you. I mean, I mean, a 50-pounder can just sit in like freaking 1 foot of water swimming, and they can just be right underneath your feet. Okay, and they eat. Now, will they eat a human? Probably not, unless you're trying to noodle or something. I mean, if you're noodling for them, which I've never done, I've never noodled before. Okay, I would like to sometime. Maybe when the catfish are on the spawn in the summertime, that would be a really good episode. Me being a wrestling coach, trying to wrestle a catfish out of a hole, or a wrestling singlet or something. How funny would that be? But if you've never caught a flathead catfish, you need to really set a goal to catch one, because number one, they fight really good. They're not going to run around like a bass does. They're not going to move so much left or right, but they have probably the biggest pool experience in freshwater fishing. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will back me up on that if you've caught a flathead, especially a big one. Okay. And there's a reason why a lot of people love targeting flatheads, and it's because they are a very unique fish. And, that's why, and I was telling you guys earlier, fishing, is starting to get more popular, and a lot of people are starting to enjoy catfishing more because these fish can get so big. A 50-pound catfish, you look at it and you're like, wow, it's really amazing to see a fish that big. So once I started catfishing, I never went back to just normal fishing like bass fishing. I've really enjoyed targeting trophy size fish, not only just catching them, but really releasing them back in the water. Okay, that way it gives someone else a chance to catch that fish. And I think it's important that we all try to preserve um, as much as we can with CPR, catch, photo, release, because that's important. Let's see here. I think I just went on a tangent a little bit, guys. I apologize. Cameron, I'll send you an email at the end of this live stream, okay? Connor, no, we do not have homework. Let's see. Okay, what's a good target for fishing the Ohio River? I mean, I would just target the Ohio River like you would any river, okay? Steve Douglas actually has good tips on that stuff if you guys haven't checked out his channel. But, if you're going to target the Ohio River, I would really invest in a good GPS like sonar system, and really just kind of look at the contour lines on the river. Find out where the deepest parts are, find out where the drop offs are, look for changes in geography on the bottom. I mean, if you're first fishing an area, I would drift fish it. That way you can cover a lot of water and see what's working. So yeah, I mean, so Owen, I hope that answers your question. How do you recommend frozen shad from a local bait shop? Or do I recommend it? Yeah, I mean, sure. I frozen shad before. Just asked the guy at the shop saying, how long has this shad been frozen? Now, when it comes to frozen bait, it's always important to make sure it's vacuum sealed. Okay, because vacuum sealed keeps the bait as fresh as possible for as long as possible. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely use frozen shad from a local bait shop. Not a problem. Let's see. What's your favorite spot to fish? If there's a very heavy current on the river, and I do like to get out when the current is just roaring out there, I'll target current seams where I usually fish like an eddy. or like in slack water, because usually when the current is very strong, a lot of the bigger blues will kind of hang around in some slack water where they're just kind of hanging out. Um, but in low flow, like we've had all freaking year, we've had like zero rain, and the TVA hasn't been generating a lot of water. We've had a low flow. Typically, I like to be below the dam, and um, a lot of the catfish have been around the dams, especially in my area, where usually they have like one generator going, and that's just enough current for them to be enticed to be staying around that area. So the dam works really good for in low flow, but also bridge pilings. And next Thursday's video, um, I have a video coming out called "They Love Structure: How to Catch Catfish Near Bridges." And bridges are really good areas to fish for. A lot of usually a lot of bait gets concentrated around there, and it's just there's usually a lot of debris, and the catfish get really attracted to those type of areas. So I would definitely say bridges as well. But I don't have a one absolute favorite spot. I mean, try to target drop offs probably more than anything, though. Let's see. Biggest striper I've ever caught, I think, is only maybe like 10 pounds or something like that. I haven't caught many stripers, believe it or not. Should probably try to get into that more often. Oh, that's good. Here, I have some students on here, guys. So good to see you guys. Make sure you don't stay up too late. Let's see. Any tips for beginner fishermen? Yoshi Gaming. Okay. Tip number one, just fish. Okay. Like you're going to learn the most just by making mistakes. Okay. And, you're not going to have everything together, when you're first fishing. Okay. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's okay, because those are the times where you really do learn the most, is when you are making mistakes. And but as far as bait, I would probably first try just using night crawlers. Okay, night crawlers can catch you pretty much anything. Okay, just fish, maybe fish a river, a lake that's near you. Just cast it straight out in the open if you're fishing from the bank, and see what you can get. Kind of build your confidence up that way. Try to fish below dams if you can. Um, if you're bass fishing, and you want to use artificial stuff, I would try using the Senko, Texas rig it, wacky rig it. There's a lot of good information out there on YouTube for bass fishing. Check out Fluke Master, One Rod, One Reel, Lunkers TV, the Guggen Squad. Follow those guys. I mean, they have a lot of great tips. Okay, and just do some research. But you're gonna learn the most when you actually just fish. Okay, so just get out there and start fishing. Let's see. What would you use for catfish bait for big ponds? Okay, depends on the size of the pond, number one. But someone had asked that earlier. I haven't done a whole lot of fishing in ponds, but when I have, I've caught catfish on corn, crickets. Believe it or not, I don't think I've ever caught a catfish on cut bait in a pond. And that's not to say that you can't, but I just haven't done a whole lot of fishing in ponds for catfish. So I would try just try a variety, just see what works. You're going to have to kind of experiment a little bit. I would definitely first find out what fish are in the ponds first, okay, and see what the competition is like. If you have minnows in your pond, you try hooking a live minnow on there. You should be able to get something for sure on that. Yeah, and the minus, I agree with you. One thing about the flies that, yeah, they are active during specific water temps and time of year. Definitely in the spring, I've had great fall, but usually in the wintertime they go dormant unless you're having like an El Nino winter or something like that. We caught a couple late winter last year, so definitely a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Let's see. Do you ever fish on top of the dam? I've done that a couple times before, having great success with channel cats, but yes, I have just a couple times. Usually I just fish below the dam though. But yeah, there's people that I know who do fish above the dam, and that can be good as well at times. Let's see, Adrian, when fishing off the bank and using light bait, is it better to use a sinker or no sinker? When you're fishing from the bank, Um, I would definitely use a sinker to keep it on the bottom, okay? Because typically catfish are going to be on the bottom. Don't use a sinker. I would definitely use like a float or something if you can, but I would definitely try to use sinker of some sort to keep your bait on the bottom. A friend of mine caught a big flathead on a piece of saltwater fish. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, flatheads, like I said, they're a very ambitious fish, okay? Especially around Florida, I'm sure. There's a guy called Glenn, I think it's Glenn Flowers. He's a guy near Pensacola, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I know he's in Florida, and I know he's had really great success on flatheads down there. I'm not sure on saltwater fish, but he's done more bluegill, I think, catching the flatheads and everything, but wouldn't surprise me if you can catch a flathead on a saltwater fish. Price have ever been catfished. I will say this: I have take the bait before. Have pretty much stripped the bait off the hook for sure. Paddlefish? No, I have not. Those things are really hard to catch. You got to really snag them and just, I guess, have good luck happen to you really to get a paddlefish. That would be really good to happen to. Barrett Buffington, oh dad, oh dad. Um, Best bait for winter catfishing, SD. Best bait for winter catfishing, in my personal opinion, is bluegill. Okay, just because the skipjack usually are not around in my neck of the woods. So I usually do really well with um, bluegill, cut bluegill especially. So don't ever undermine using cut bluegill in the wintertime. I'm telling you, that stuff works like a charm. Okay. But obviously it depends on where you are too and which body of water you're fishing, graphically speaking. So and a lot of that also depends on water temperature too. All right, guys, we got about 12 minutes, so we'll just take a few more questions here, and then we'll just kind of recap everything. And let's see here. Have I ever caught a shark? Yes, I've caught a shark. I have a video out on the channel called or something like that. Just look through my videos, and you should see it. It's on there for sure. Have ever caught a nice shark? I think the biggest shark I've caught was maybe pushing 10 pounds or something like that. But like I said, I have a video out there, so go check it out. Say that live bait is best for flatheads when Aussie Douglas uses cut skipjack. I mean, here's the thing, like, um, the flatheads will cut bait, okay? It's funny because I typically do better on cut bait for flatheads, cut skipjack. But flatheads, I think it's all about if it's fresh. Okay, if the cut bait is fresh, they'll eat it. Just like a live fish, they're fresh. Okay, they're alive, and flatheads. I don't know. It's really weird in some ways with them because, well, not weird, but it's interesting because kind of like sharks. People think that like sharks have a very strong scent. which they do. They have a very strong scent, you know, blood, but they can also feel like it's in distress. Okay, so if you have a fish, like a live fish that's on a hook, and the fish is moving around a lot, it's in a lot of distress, the shark can kind of feel the decibels, or like it can feel that like wavelength almost from the distress of the fish to the shark. It's really weird. It's like they have like a very special connection with that. Kind of have a similar thing, similar type tendency, you know, because when you're a predator fish, see, predator fish are just very interesting. Okay, when you're a predator fish, it's almost like you have a high sense of, you almost know when something's in distress. Okay, and I think that's why the flathead will usually, you know, pursue a good meal. They're very opportunist type thing. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say live bait is probably best for flatheads, but I wouldn't undermine using cut bait though either. There's times, guys, where I've caught 0 flatheads on a live bluegill, and then on my other rods that I had cut bluegill on, I was catching the flatheads. So it just kind of depends. You know, it's just how it is. It's all about what they want. You know, we're picky with our food too, you know, with what we want. So I'm sure they're the same way. What do you get? What do you to get unhung from structure when using 50-pound mono? Endominus, I'm not sure what you're quite asking there. What do you get unhung from structure when using 50-pound mono? I'm not sure what you're trying to ask. If you can just rephrase that, I'd probably better answer you. Um, can I make a video on how to fish from the bank during the cold weather? Sure, I sure can. I need to do more bank fishing videos for sure. Come fish West Virginia on the Ohio River. I would like to. I know commercial fishing has not been hit too hard out there, which is good. What kind of boat do I have? I have a G3 Gator boat, DLX 1756, 17-foot aluminum boat. Let's see here. How do you catch skipjack? Usually you catch them below dams. Okay, you catch them. You can use a marabou jig or you can use a Foley spoon. I do better with the Foley spoons. But if you're going to use like a marabou jig, which is like a crappie jig, you can usually tie 2 or 3 of them on your line, and you can usually just cast them out into like a current seam below the dam or something like that. If they're running, they have to be there. Usually you'll see them jumping out of the water, nuts out there. And just tie yourself 2 or 3 marabou jigs, or you can use a sabiki rig. People do that as well. Just put a sabiki rig on your line, put a sinker at the bottom. I mean, the package will tell you how to do it, and then just drop it. And then those are like, I think those have like 5 to 7 like little flies on there or something like that, and then you can catch them that way too. Let's see. What tactics do you use to get unhung, okay, from structure when using heavy mono, like 50-pound mono? Okay, all right. So when I am hung up on heavy structure, when using heavy line, like 50-pound monofilament, like you're talking about, and I use heavy, and actually my main line is 50-pound, and I'll use like an 80-pound leader line. So usually I'm actually hung up on 80-pound line, which is tough. Okay. And sometimes it's a losing battle, and it just really depends on what you're hung up on. If you have a very fast current that you're fishing, you can just let slack out of your line. Just go on free spool on your reel and just let the current take the slack line. And sometimes, believe it or not, that can work. I've actually had that happen where it's worked. It was when you're done fishing that particular spot, okay, pull up your anchor or whatever, and try to get as close as you can to that snag and work different angles around that. You may have to go to the left, you may have to go to the right, you may have to go, you know, in front or behind, you know, and I just usually put my thumb on the spool so it eventually breaks. And sometimes it's just 50-50. You know, sometimes I'll get it back, sometimes I won't. And usually it's funny, it's usually the sinker that's usually snagged, not the hook or the bait. It's usually just the sinker because I usually use a disc sinkers and use a sliding sinker, and I just, you know, attach the disc sinker onto the little clip, and that's actually what gets hung up the most out of anything. But it's like 50-50, and like I said, I would just work different directions on trying to get get loose there. So let's see here. How many times I've been stung by a catfish? I think maybe a couple times, nothing major. It's usually the little ones you got to be aware of. They got like those little. It's usually their pectoral and dorsal fins that are very like sharp. The little ones are especially the big about because their dorsal and pectoral fins are very dull and they really won't hurt you at all. If not, they won't do anything. But the little ones, yeah, just be careful. A couple times I've stung, but nothing major. Fish in a cast net. Owen, you can, if I ever do that, I have to release it back. You know, there's actually a lot of restrictions on cast netting in different states. But yeah, if you cast net a catfish, you definitely have to throw it back. Can't take it home, whatever. Not that I would anyway, but you know, I don't take any catfish home. I usually release all the fish I catch. But Richard, what lake or river is your favorite place to fish? It's Nickajack Lake on the Tennessee River. Let's see. When you fish with cut bluegill, do you descale them? No, I do not, Adrian. I just usually just cut it into chunks. I'll cut the head, the midsection, and I usually just cut off the tail and throw that out. But, you know, no, I don't descale them at all. I would like to see a collab with FV Catfish and Mike Mitchell on those trophy cats and Tennessee River. I've gotten with FV Catfish a few times. Great guy. He knows what he's doing. Actually a really good friend of mine, and we got a couple of videos out where I fished with him. And Mike Mitchell, I haven't fished with him in a long time. I booked a trip with him, I think it was like 3 years ago, Father's Day trip with my dad, and we went with him. And so yeah, it would definitely be good to fish with him again. If you're bank fishing, you get, okay, let's take a couple more questions, guys, and then I got to call quits. But it says, if you're bank fishing as you're reeling in the fish, how do you get it out? Let's see. That's tough. Okay, sometimes you just want to maybe leave it sit because maybe the fish can get out of the snag for you. You know, I've had that happen a couple times, and usually it's been not in my favor. But if you're fishing, you get hung up as you're reeling in a fish, see if the fish can just get it out for you. Just leave the rod there or keep it in the rod holder if you have one. If not, you know, just let the fish try to take some line out a little bit, and hopefully you'll get out of there. What size hooks do I use? I use 5/0 and 8/0 double action circle hooks by Team Catfish. When drift fishing, I'll use Kale hooks. Do I bass fish, Reed? Yes, I do. Every now and then I do. Jack, I do not keep catfish to eat. I pretty much just strictly CPR, catch, photo, release. Not to say that I wouldn't. If I were to catch any catfish, they would all be under 10 pounds. All right, let's take one more question, and then we're going to call quits. Guys, it's been a great live stream for sure. Let's see if we can get one more question here. You guys are funny. Some of these comments. Let's see here. Okay. Minecraft. Let's see. What's your PB largemouth bass? I think it's like 4 pounds and a quarter. Not very big. You know, but I've caught in bigger smallmouth bass. I think my biggest smallmouth bass is like 5 pounds or something like that. So very big for the bass, unfortunately. I don't do a whole lot of bass fishing, but I would definitely like to try to break 5 pounds this year if I can. And that would be a good goal for me to have for sure. All right, guys. I'm going to call it quits here. For those of you who watched, thank you so much. It was really great to see some of my students on here as well. And like I said, for Sunday, I'll have the 10,000 subscriber giveaway video, and I'll give you instructions on what you need to do to be a part of that contest. You know, so look for that on Sunday, and then next Thursday we'll resume more to the back to the catfishing videos, and then I'll have like a winners giveaway video sometime next week. I'll let you know on Sunday's video when that will be. I have to compose that. So I appreciate you guys watching, and give a thumbs up for this live stream, and we'll see you guys next time.